What is going on, people? What is going on? Very, very interesting. The corporate citizens are coming. They coming. I'm seeing some new energy out in the marketplace, and we're going to talk about that today. All right, before we get into this, let's get into announcements. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., live training where you want to, and it is in the corporate toolbox. It is in the new how to start a business from scratch section, and in the art of holding, it is in the new thing. Also, I get this question a lot. If you're in the corporate toolbox, all of the new training will be in the corporate toolbox. You're not going to get login access because for some reason, and I'm going to probably start doing this, is having doing the videos. It's like I could send out an email through the corporate toolbox and everyone doesn't get it. So it's just going to be a very, also my assistant, her baby has COVID. So I'm winging it by myself this week. And we're not trying to do all that. So if you're in the corporate toolbox, you're not getting access to the art of holding because you don't need it. Everything that goes into the art of holding will be going into the corporate toolbox, and everything that goes on in the YouTube super creative will be going on in the corporate toolbox. And also, for those of you who are like, I literally get this question 5 to 10 times a day. Like, what's the difference in the corporate toolbox and the art of holding? In the corporate toolbox, you get more. The art of holding, which we're getting ready to jump into in April, the Fast Start 8-week boot camp. If you go ahead and you buy the art of holding now, you will get that boot camp. If you wait until April, it's going to be a separate standalone program. So there will be the art of holding, and there will be the Fast Start boot camp. And the art of holding, the price is going up because we're going to be cooking with some gas. So hopefully that clears up a lot of your misunderstanding, so to speak. So one of the things that we're going to do is today, and all the links for everything are below this live stream. So let me go ahead and get into this. What's going on? What's up? Extra cheese on the burger. All right. Do you know that a lot of people, like I think 53 billion went into the stock market last month because of people and their stimulus money? Hopefully, yes, hurries. If you're in the corporate toolbox, everything will be in the corporate toolbox. What is going on? Black men in particular should be dominating the trucking industry. I got a story about that. What is going on? What is up? All right. Right now, I am seeing a lot of energy that is going. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I am seeing a lot of energy. Hey, like I said, want to put that in the course. All right. 25% of the country has $25,000 more or more in the money, of cash in the bank account, 25%. I think if you moved it up to 50,000, probably 10%. But I want to talk about this new energy of black people getting into trucking. There is Alex Burton, good energy. There is the trucking guru, there's a lot of energy, especially in the black community. King Solomon, been in trucking 20 years as a driver. All right. All right. There is a lot of energy. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, Tyrone. Sorry to hear that. 10%, I feel rich. There's a lot of energy with people who are getting into trucking, black folks. Like I said, there's Alex Burden, Good Energy. There is the trucking guru. There is actually the trucking diva. She doesn't have a course, but she and her husband document their trucking lifestyle on YouTube. There's been a lot of interest in trucking and getting into trucking and buying a truck and becoming an owner operator and becoming a dispatcher. And I'm seeing what I like to call it. Like, I started off years ago with the black people marketing department, and then there's the stock market marketing department. Now there's the trucking industry marketing department. Now, why is that important? When you have a lot of energy moving to one spot really, really fast, because there's a lot of energy moving to trucking, a lot of energy, a lot of people. Hood Estates, Jamar, Hood Estates, Erica, she has, I don't know how many trucks, I think 10 or 12 or something like that. And there's so many people who are moving into the trucking industry. And I feel from a corporate citizen standpoint, that's a good thing, because people being exposed to being owners. I feel that this is a good thing because essentially, how I got started in the resale business. First, I was selling used office furniture. Then I switched to new office furniture. Then I switched back to selling used products. And I was in the resale game for almost a decade. And that gave me a lot of business chops. What I feel is going to happen is that trucking is going to open up the door for many people. Trucking is cooler. People need to get into brokers. We need the whole cow. Hey, thank you. You should build business credit for your holding company. So what we're seeing is a lot of energy that's going into trucking. We're seeing a lot of energy that's going into dispatching. We're seeing a lot of energy going into the things. Omar, they're already there. Essentially, when I do a live webinar, I do a replay and I upload it in the corporate toolbox and open up in the art of holding. The broker game for trucking is where it is. Okay. Like I said, I don't really know a lot about trucking, but I know that I can sense there's so much energy moving toward trucking right now. There's so much energy. There's so many people getting into it. Like I said, Jamar, Hood Estates, Alex Burden, Good Energy, the trucking guru, and there's a host of other personalities who are in trucking. The trucking guru is a single mother of 3, and she got in the trucking game 15 years ago, and she's become a millionaire in the trucking game because she has a trucking company. She has a dispatch company. I think she has like 40 trucks. So there, the trucking guru is very interesting because she didn't graduate high school. She has a felony and she doesn't even have her GED. And I feel for many, many people, that is very inspiring, that you can go from having all of these issues because, she spoke about her community of single mothers and people who had felonies. And typically, once you get a felony, in some places, you can't even rent an apartment. You let alone get a job. You can't rent an apartment. You can't get a job. I mean, that felony is a big, big roadblock. And the trucking industry is one of the most lucrative things that you can get into with a felony and make good money. And you will not be locked out because you have a felony. Good Lord, China Express, really? I'm in North Carolina. If I start my holding company in Wyoming, should I start my trucking LLC there? Well, it really depends. Since you're doing trucking, you can pretty much start your LLC, your holding company in Wyoming. I would recommend that you start your holding company in the state of North Carolina. If you're going to start your holding company somewhere, I would actually recommend the Miami hustle. I would actually start my holding company in Miami, and I would start my operating company in Miami, because you're having a trucking company. So you're pretty much all over the place, right? And you start your holding company in Miami and your operating company in Miami, you're not going to have to pay state tax. Because, having a trucking company, essentially you would have to have your DOT numbers and all this stuff out of Florida. But this is a way to save whatever the North Carolina state tax is. Yes. Essentially, Omar, what's going to happen with the boot camp, I'm going to be here every day at 3 p.m. And if you cannot make the live training, they will be recorded. I'm doing it just like I did 2,500 to 30 days to 2,500. Essentially, I showed up every day. I did a training, and, actually I did that for free. And, this is very interesting. Since I have stopped offering free products, I've had more sales at Hustlers. I'm not even pushing that. People are finding this. I don't know if they're going through old emails or what, but people are finding stuff at Hustlers Kung Fu and they're buying it. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm going to do the training every day at 3 p.m. And if you can't make the live training, then you will have access to the replays. And this is going to go on. Yep, Florida's no state tax. Wayman Brown. Owner operator fits the profile of many black men. It's an opportunity to be self-employed, work alone, and earn more than the average income of $42K for black men. Be careful of not having a kid in every state. Woo, man. I mean, trucking has become a force to be reckoned with. Mel One, thanks for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Sweet Butterfly Girl. Any types for pushing through fatigue when working a full-time job and building your business. You're going to hear something you don't want to hear. You're going to have to start working out. You're going to have to start doing cardio. Probably 30 minutes to an hour a day of cardio is going to give you more energy, because in the beginning, you're going to need to pull more energy to do more stuff. So that's that will be my big tip to you. Or, essentially, asset protection only comes up into play if you get sued. And essentially, if you own a trucking company, let's say you have your holding company here, then you have your operating company here, right? Then the operating company, which has the trucking company, gets sued. By having a holding company structure and an operating company structure, this gives you even greater asset protection virtually in any state, because yes, they can sue the trucking company. Your insurance is going to come into play and they can come after that, but they cannot come after your holding company because your holding company was not involved in the accident. Haris, that actually is in the corporate toolbox, how to transition an LLC into a new holding company, because essentially you just got to go in and do what's called an administrative change on your corporate level and assign ownership of that LLC to your new holding company. That's actually in the corporate toolbox. Trucking and working offshore are a couple of industries lucrative for felons. Like, I was, doing some research, because essentially for the trucking guru, it's an inspiring story. Single mother of 3 kids, not even a high school diploma, a felony, and she has built a multi-million-dollar a year business in trucking. I feel that is one of the reasons that so many people follow her, because, she was at the bottom of the bottom. She was at the bottom of the bottom, and for her to achieve that level of success and to expose people to the business, because like I said, when I was in selling commercial office furniture, there were literally five of us, 5 black salesmen in the city of Atlanta, which has a majority black population. There was 5 of us selling commercial office at a Fortune 1000 company level. 5 of us. And essentially, it was a pretty sweet gig. You get in it, you're going to be making 6 figures your first year. And if you really crush it, you can make 7 figures. It wasn't like a really hard business. Most of the people that I talked to, I remember Tory Insurance off Peachtree. We sold them some office furniture. I remember that one of being my few black clients, but the majority of my clients were white, facility managers and stuff. But that job exposed me to so much. It exposed me to a crazy amount of money. It exposed me to a crazy amount of opportunity. I found businesses that I didn't even know existed. King Solomon, been an owner operator for over 5 years, made 6 figures every year. Now I'm heading to dispatching and starting a small fleet. Trucking been the best move for me. Like I'm seeing that, because like I said, there's so much energy around trucking right now. Yes, Texas is a no income state tax as well. Yep, sure is. Oh yeah, you got to work out, man. Because essentially, let's go to the thesis. Once again, if you're low income, you're better off starting a small business than investing, buying Bitcoin, because this gives you the utility of usable, disposable cash. Whereas investing in Bitcoin doesn't give you that option. So yeah, good diet helps with energy levels as well. Pretty much. There's a place that I go pretty much every day. It's farm to table. They source all of this organic food locally and cook it up. And my digestion system loves it. I've not had no issues with that. Well, Omar, this is one of my big issues with YouTube. There's a lot of how to go. There's a lot of here's a business, go do it. But there isn't a lot of how to do it. And this is why I think Alex Burden, Good Energy, the Trucking Diva, they're actually showing people how to actually do these businesses. And I think this is another reason there's so much energy with this right now. Because essentially in the Fast Start Bootcamp, I'm going to teach you guys how to do marketplace and audience research. If you Google that on YouTube, you literally will find a handful of videos. And that is so important. And once again, the YouTube marketing department has had people gassed up, that has people thinking that they become an investor and become a billionaire. It ain't happening. You might become a millionaire as an investor. And I'm going to give you the pathways. Like if you, at the age of 18, start putting $100 in an index fund every month for the next 40 years, you will be a millionaire. But it's going to take you 4 to 5 decades to pull that off. Or if you have a very large income and you can invest $100K a year in the market, you will become a millionaire in 7 to 8 years. So you can become a millionaire with investing, but either you're going to need a very long pathway, long runway of 4 to 5 decades. Okay. Or you're going to have to be in a position where you just have a lot of money at your disposal. The shipper pays $5 for the load. The broker pays the driver $1.80 or $2, then keeps the rest. People need to change the game ASAP. Like I said, I have heard and seen in videos that people are getting ripped off by dispatchers and stuff. Sure thing, sure thing. Raw veggies. JP. Later on today, I'm going to do a video. It's going to be a Rich People of Atlanta video because I found out some interesting stuff about real estate. And it's going to tie into developing some lots. It's going to tie into that. What I have seen is strippers dancing, getting a few trucks on the side, and when they get an understanding of the business or a man to run it, they get off the pole. Steve Jameson, isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how when a woman who's a stripper, she finds a better opportunity, she gets off that pole. I honestly don't think women want to be strippers. I don't think women want to be sugar babies. I feel that these are occupations of circumstance. You know, a woman may be in a certain situation where she'll do something like that, but if she can find something better, she out. I've seen the number of strippers who started YouTube channels, and once their YouTube money got good, they came off that pole. It's very interesting how often that happens. Very interesting. What's up, reigning woman? Trucking is good for those men who want to structure their lives for child support issues. Really? Good Lord. Yeah, farm to table is really good. Yeah, child support issues. Wow. Best route to trucking is get your CDL, become a driver, owner, dispatch fleet of trucks, systemize the whole thing. Hey, I'm seeing a lot of that right now. Opulence, when you showed that on the web in Articulate, that was like crazy. Like only, yes, right now, essentially, I have a video over on Savage Finance talking about YouTubers. YouTube, if YouTube picks you to be successful, because essentially there's a certain look you need to have, there's a certain delivery, video editing, all this stuff matters. Where you can actually I'm going to mention the name, Andre Jack. He does a video in personal finance on dividend stock investing. Dude had a dividend stock portfolio of $200K. You know how much money that pays? $7,000 a year. $7,000. And he was able to leverage his knowledge of dividend stock portfolios, and that really, to me, $7,000 a year passive income ain't really nothing. You know, because I keep asking, like, why are people so crazy about dividend stock? It's the whole point of kicking back and just getting money for doing absolute nothing that enticing that you're going to take. Because essentially, you can have $1 million dividend stock portfolio, and it's going to pay you $38,000 a year. I could take $1 million, put it in my business, and turn that to 10 million. So is the whole not working thing that attractive? You know, help me understand. Sweet butterfly, I have to think about that. Nothing comes to mind right now. Erica Williams, systems matters in trucking. I would assume so. How do you book a 1 hour consultation? Is it even going to? I will start putting that under the videos. I can't get to it on this computer because I'm not logged in, but it'll be under the video later on today. Butterfly, Google Instant Needs and GoPuff Company just got an $8 billion valuation by delivering snacks. Company started in Philly by college students 8 years ago. You know, that's very interesting, Cleveland Smith. Like, you know, everyone that's on Tesla, y'all know Tesla is 17 years old, and Tesla stock didn't really start doing anything until 2019. It's very interesting. Oh, wow, Wayman Brown. I did not know this about strippers. That as well. Yes, large investments, even the IU I emailed you about. With each investment, you need anywhere from 50K and up to see significant gains over 7 to 10 years, and that's 6 to 9% with no losses. Yeah, because essentially, this is why I think trucking is so hot, because you can literally get into trucking with 25K. You could get in the trucking business with 25K. Get you a truck, get your insurance and stuff, and roll. And that is something that a lot of people, if you've got decent credit, you can come up with that really easy. If you not great credit, just decent credit. Yes, Omar. This is one of the things that I'm going to be working on, is how to determine what you're good at. I feel that the trucking guru got good at trucking because she's a people person. And see, there's like, if you're a people person, you would naturally be good at sales because you like people. You like having conversations. You like chatting it up. You like talking to people. That is a skill set that people don't understand. You should invest in dividend stocks. Personal injury attorney, it really depends upon if the car is a business car and certain classifications and how you use that car. So that's a it depends question. There's some allure making money in the stock market. It makes people feel smart if they can make money in the stock market. That's what I'm like, because right now, if you are someone who's offering a stock course, how to do options or trade stocks or something, you're going to make way more money selling that course than you ever will make investing in stocks. I was listening to, what's her name? Her first name is Terry. I think she did $10 million selling her stock course. I guarantee you she's not made $10 million in the stock market. And I'm not throwing shade. I just know the numbers. So she made more money talking about teaching people how to invest in stocks, kind of like Andre Jack, than she will ever make in the stock market. It's very interesting. I'm gonna send out an email about that, because essentially I kind of pulled back from that because I was so busy. Yep. Well, once again, it depends upon the car. It depends. It really depends. There is no, if you go ahead and buy, let's say you buy a Honda Accord and you pay cash for your business. The Internal Revenue Service has a formula like, let's say you bought a Range Rover. The Internal Revenue Service has a formula that you can only deduct $25,000 off the purchase of that Range Rover. However, if you lease a car to your business, you get to write off that whole lease payment. So it really depends on how you do it. Tyron, you should put that land under a corporate entity. Since you're in the art of holding, you would do your holding company, you would do an operating company with your trucking company, and you would do another operating company with that land in it. Terry, Trade and Travel. Yeah, she made way more money selling that course than she would have ever made in the market. I think she did like 10 million in 1 year. I guarantee you, she ain't making that kind of money in the market. I guarantee it. I know the numbers, man. King Solomon. In trucking, expect 2 years to learn about the type of freight, the lanes to run your truck in, how freight slows down during certain seasons. Okay. King Solomon giving you game on about the trucking. Thank you. Thank you. Because essentially, what I feel is in 5 years, we're going to have a lot of black trucking. Erica, I'm gonna say this. I know she's your friend. I guarantee you, because she had the influx of course money that gave her more money to put into the stock market. I guarantee you, she ain't making 10 million a year. I would find that hard to believe. And also, I sell courses, so I know the profit margin on courses. So she made like 20 million between trading stocks and selling her courses. That would put her in the top 0.3% of income earners in the country. I have no doubt that she took money from selling that course and put it in the market and made money. I have no doubt about that. But I like the Amazing Selling Machine, which is an Amazon FBA course, made $116 million. $116 million. So right now, selling stock courses, option courses is super hot. Robinhood app. It is the season to be selling information how to make money in the stock market. It is really, really huge. If you've got any skills on selling a stock or how to do stock market trading and you have a good personality, you can make millions right now. It is the season. Because like if she made $300,000 a day in the stock market, I guarantee you she had at least $500,000 or more. Because essentially when you make that kind of money, you're not trading with a small count. You can't be. A lot of this stock edges against Coast Custer methods are garbage. Really? I like, I would be really, really shocked if she's making 10 million a year of trading stocks. I would be really, really shocked. I'm not saying that ain't possible, but I'd be really, really shocked because to make that kind of money, you're going to need an account size that's going to be in the millions. Now, after she sold her stock course and she got all that money, she may have an account size where she can do that. But before she starts selling that course, I don't think that happened. That's why the G-Wagon is so popular. It weighs in that range and gives good deductions. The G-Wagon, actually, that Mercedes-Benz 500 SEL was... James Ford, you mentioned that the holding company should be the organizer of the articles for the operating company. Kearney said my holding company should be a member owner of operating the company. Organizer and owner is the same thing, James Forbes. Terry says she's made 10 million in a year, claims to have made, 300K in a day. If you're trading options, this is something that can happen. Self-driving vehicles are like 20 years away, man. We got plenty of time. Better that she said she had 2 mil in the market when she like I knew that. You don't make 300K from a small trading account. So Baller Dash, that actually sounds like the deal. No, she made 300K before the course. 300K is way different than 10 million a year. Very, very different. Like I said, I have no doubt that she made money in the stock market, but I guarantee you, hands down, that she made more money selling that course than she did in the stock market. You cannot convince me otherwise, because if she was making 10 million a year in the stock market, that would put her at 20 mil. I'm not seeing that. That's how the course sold. Like I said, if you couldn't have an account of 2 million and make $300,000 a day, I could believe that. But I actually believe she made more money selling that course. There's too much data. Well, for people who sell courses, who know about courses, this is one of the reasons that I am so into the education aspect, because of the money. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't work nowhere near as hard in this business as I did in the storage auction business. The storage auction business was very taxing. I learned a lot of stuff. I made a lot of money, but one of the things that I've learned through systems and processes is my goal is to turn, Grant Cardone does $150 million a year doing this. 150 million a year. 150 million a year doing this. So, trucking rates follow the rates which you produce. You have an understanding of the produce cycles. You have a good understanding of trucking lanes. Yeah, like I said, I feel that there's going to be a plethora of information that's going to come out about trucking in the next 5 years. Baller Dash. All right, I'm going to say this once again for the people in the back. I don't believe that she made 10 million before she started selling those courses. I don't believe it. And everything that y'all posting doesn't indicate that she made 10 million. She may have made 6 figures with a large trading account, which I can believe. But once again, as someone who knows the power of selling an online course, there's more money in selling online courses than trading stocks. That's why there are so many online courses about trading stocks, because it's hot right now. DMB makes 5 million a day. Who's that? Baller Dash, I would 100% agree. Yeah, she's probably got some connect where she recommends students to this brokerage house and gets a kickback. That's kind of normal. I guess you could. I don't really know a lot about nonprofits. That's not my lane, but I guess you could. If she made more money investing than the course, why would she choose the lower producing activity? Bad Wolf MAA, like I said, you're a thinking man. You're a thinking man. She made more money selling that course. Once again, why do the course? I'm a company driver for Walmart Northeast Division. I made 115 last year, poker and trucking. Hey, congratulations. A lot of these course gurus sell crap for thousands that won't help. This is true. 5 million a day, Wall Street would be calling. Pretty much. YouTube hustlers. Yep. Because essentially, like, one of the reasons that I have changed everything I'm doing is I want to be more helpful and give you guys the real stuff to help you start businesses. And I know that both my channels are going to take a hit because I'm going to give you the information that you need versus what you want. And I have a friend, and we've talked about this. He says, if you sell what people are buying, you will make money. Like right now, I've seen YouTube channels literally blow up overnight talking about dividend stock investing, which for me, for me, having a business produces more cash, produces way more cash. For me, once again. Well, first of all, depending on who you are and where you are, it really depends on your income, and it depends upon your access to credit. So it really depends. Like, I got a video of Savage Finance talking about the danger zones of income. Danger zone number 1, number 2, and number 3. Erica Williams, I believe after she started selling the course that she was buying multi-million-dollar properties. I 100% believe that because she made $10 million from the course. I believe that. I don't believe she was making that kind of money before the course. That's my argument. And unless I see some proof that she was making $10 million before the course, I'm not buying it. You know how hard it is to make $10 million. You know how hard it is to make $10 million. That the number of people in the country who are doing 10 million a year, well, 5 million a year is 270,000 families. So you go up to 2 million, it's probably going to be less than 100,000 people in this country who are doing that per year. That's really hard. Once again, my argument is, yes, she was successful trading stocks. I can believe she had a $2 million trading account because she seems to be an older lady, so she had time to build that. But I don't believe she was making 10 million before she launched this course. I don't believe that. Knowing what I know about courses. And yes, I can believe that she's bought multiple $1 million pieces of property after the course. I can believe that all day long. What you think I'm going to do? I'm buying an apartment complex in 4 years, a $15 million apartment complex using the course money. Yeah, I can believe that. I would set up one holding company. Well, your liability insurance would depend upon what businesses you're in. Let's say you have a holding company and then you have a trucking company that's under that holding company. You're going to have specific insurance for that trucking company. So once again, it depends upon what kind of business you're in. Most I made was 10K on a 10-day in GBR 2 months ago. 300K is insane. Hey. When Shopify was hot a few years ago, one of the gurus accidentally showed this income stream and most of his money came from courses. Absolutely. I would say, yes, she's probably doing well in investing, but I don't think she's making $10 million a year from investing. You know how hard that is? You would need a trading account with 10 to 15 or 20 million in it to leverage a $10 million investing. I don't, she might be able to do it now after the courses, but before the courses, I would say no. I am a licensed financial advisor, insurance producer, and lender. Show me someone that made that much in one day investing than J.P. Morgan or Ray Dalio, who are billionaires. Who are billionaires. Like I said, once again, I'm not going to discount Terry. You know, she seems like a really smart person, but I know the power of selling online courses. And I believe that the multi-million-dollar properties came after the course sales, not before. Erica, it's hard to believe it when you, but I've seen people lose 35K in one day. There is a YouTube channel, I don't know it, that talks about people doing option tradings, and people have lost 600,000, 700,000, 800,000 in a year. Engineer appliance repair putting his dance card out. Owner operators are not going away. Bad Wolf M8. People don't realize the amount you have tied up in the market to return $1 million a year in the market. It takes tens of millions invested to make 1 million. This is what I'm saying. You know, if you're making 10 million, you're going to need like a 30-40 million dollar trading account. And I'm like, I know income. I know what people make. I understand that there are some people making that kind of paper, but it's a handful of people. It's a handful of people. Elate with options, she can make 10 million, no problem, because of the leverage. Yeah, if you're playing that game, you're going to also have some heavy losses. You're going to have some very heavy losses. Notice people who talk about invest, they fail to mention most lose that hat in the market. Pretty much. Day trading has a 99% failure rate. Option trading has a 99% failure rate. But hey, right now it is, that's funny. Right now, nope, you can name it whatever you want. The best hedge funds give a return of 10 to 15% per year. Multi-billionaire Warren Buffett's about 20% a year. Like I said, I know I got a friend who's heavy in the stock market, and he's worth about 300 million. And I know he has about 50 million in the stock market, and he ain't made no 10 million in a year with 50 million in the market. So that I'm going to leave it at that. It's easier to lose 300K than it is to make it. Pretty much. Redditors turn thousands into millions. Joe Eccles, this is true, but this was a once in a blue moon thing. This wasn't a month after month type of thing. A lot of people made a lot of money with Tesla. But if you go back and do the research, Tesla is 17 years old, and Tesla stock didn't start bumping into 2019. And at some point, that's going to disappear. So this isn't like, in the storage auction business, I bought a safe for $1 and made $60,000. So yeah, you can hit a good lick. But consistent returns like that, I'm not believing that. You cannot convince me like, yeah, you can have this option play. Like there's a kid who did like $78,000 off a $2,800 investment for Tesla options. Is he doing that every month? Nope. Is he doing it every quarter? Nope. Is he doing it? He's doing that like once or twice a year. So yeah, you can hit really good, but like I said, I know these things. Like I said, I know these things. Yep, but Reddit was organized collusion globally. It's called cooperation, man. It's called cooperation. Billionaire in 2 years at that rate. Like I said, anyone, and this is one of the things that like I noticed with the Forex guys. Most of the Forex guys never show you their size of their trading account. And if you do the math and you know a little bit, just a little bit, that if someone tells you that they made 2 or 3 million a year trading Forex, they were going to need a 10 to $15 million trading account. So if anyone is making 10 million from the stock market, they're going to need a large trading account. Like you can hit here and there. You may put a good options system together, but this is dependent upon like the GameStop. A bunch of Redditors noticed that they had shorted the stock more than the stock was allowed, and they took advantage. This doesn't happen every day. Let me see. What is GME right now? GME stock is up 144,000. Let's go last 6 months. So they're still playing with this game because it's moved up to $144. So all right, the other dude. What we're talking about. So, all right, since you're now here, did you make $10 million a year before you start selling your course? Yes or no? Trade and travel. Don't forget Reddit tried to squeeze silver and it did not work. Once again, your first million is your hardest million. Your first million is your hardest. It took me 13 years to make my first million. The first million is the hardest. Like, once again, one of the things that you're seeing, especially in the trading and investing community, is a lot of people are putting out courses that are garbage. They're putting out courses that are absolute garbage. There are some courses out there that are good and exceptional, but the bulk of the stuff is junk. And once again, for me, once again, I'm a business owner. I've worked for my money. I am not programmed to where I'm going to be excited that I got to take $1 million and put it in dividend stock, and that $1 million is going to pay me $38,000 passive income. For me, that is not exciting. I would take that million and throw it in ads and turn that million into 10 million. That's exciting. But once again, I'm a different kind of animal. I'm a different kind of creature. And like I said, I was watching a video where they said this guy was a trader and he was going to become a billionaire. If you go to Investopia right now, they will tell you that it's virtually impossible to become a billionaire by trading. You can become a millionaire by trading. Once again, there's the long path. You can invest $100 a month for 40, 50 years and become a millionaire. Or you could put a big shovel of cash into the market and become a millionaire in 7 to 10 years. But once again, for me, and I'm going to give you the thesis, having a business, and I'm going to break it down, having a small business that makes you $1,500 a month. Once again, $1,500. We're not talking about 20. We're not talking about 30,000 a month. While keeping your job is going to be a better solution for most people than investing or Bitcoin. Because in the video that I talked about at Savage Finance, the income danger zone, most people don't have enough money. Over half of America has an income problem. They don't make enough money to become investors of significance. They don't make enough money. Pretty much. So if you put 200K in the market, how long would it take you to get your principal investment back? Short change? Great question. If you put 200K in the market and had dividend stock, that dividend stock would pay you roughly $7,000 a year. So you're looking at 25 years to get your principal back. Warren Buffett became a millionaire from buying or controlling stock in companies, not stake in companies, not trading stock. He buys companies. And this is very interesting. Warren Buffett did not become a billionaire until 1985. There's an article on the internet about him using a mortgage to buy a house in California. And this was before he was even a millionaire. He used a mortgage because he had to. This has been my thesis. It's like all of these people who are claiming to be millionaires and they're not paying cash for properties is because they can't. I have on Savage Finance an article of a girl who makes $378,000 a year. She's 28. She paid $50,000 cash for a Jeep, and she gave her mother cash money to buy a house. And I got a video that's coming up that's going to show you how people with real money really get down. You can flip a product 100x. Stocks when crypto have a ceiling. Pretty much. It's a rich man's lottery for the most part. Because essentially, like, the best investors are business owners. Why? Because they have a large income shovel. You know, if you're like, go ahead and check out the video at Savage Finance, the income danger zones. And if you're in the danger zone number 1, you just don't have enough money to become an investor of significance unless you start at 18 with $100 a month and continue doing that for the next 40 to 50 years. Yeah, I'm going to be playing around with that intro a little bit. Because essentially, you know, like I put out there, there's so much false information here on YouTube. There are so many wild claims, like one of the guys, Jason Kalakis, he's a guy that's worth like 100 million in California. And they're going after these Bitcoin, not the Bitcoin, but the Clubhouse millionaires. All of these folks who have these fancy things in their bio and stuff, but no receipts whatsoever. Lil Yachty pays 52. That's a choice, man. Got to keep working because he can't live on top of that. Like I said, rappers are not the people. Like Bandman Kevo, one of his reasons his channels gets the views is the flexing, and it is bad. It's bad. Investing in the market is fine, but all you're doing is giving the company a very low interest loan. The dividends they pay are peanuts compared to what you loaned them. Like I said, for me, like I don't understand the fascination, because there are several YouTube channels that have literally blown up over dividend stock. And I'm just sitting there like, $1 million investment making 38K? They ain't even 10%. It's ahead of inflation. Like with the stimulus money, you will see these businesses, they will be stimulated. They will be very much stimulated. People in love with the word passive, they just want clout. Hey, Tyrone, can I use an out-of-state LLC to buy property? Don't do that. You don't want to do that. If you're buying property, you want the LLC, you want to have an LLC in the state that you have that property. So you will definitely have, wherever you want to buy property, you will have an LLC in that state. You can use that holding company wherever it is to organize that LLC, but you want to have that LLC in that state. All right, I gotta go. My mastermind is meeting, so I will talk to you guys later. But I just wanted to talk about what is going on with what is happening with the state of trucking. How many black folks are getting in trucking? How many people have become owner operators? How many people are dipping their toe in the business world? And I think overall, this is a good thing, because it's going to expose more people to business. It's going to open up doors. It's going to impact children who are not born, because their parents are going to be, income producing business owners. They're going to be able to have better lives. They're going to be able to have better marriages and all this other stuff. So with that, if you want to, let me give you the breakdown. Next month, I'm going to do an 8-week business fast start. It's going to be a daily training every day at 3 p.m. Now you can get this if you're in the corporate citizens, you're in the corporate toolbox. You don't have to buy anything. You will get this. If you're in the art of holding, I will add this to your art of holding for April. Come the month of April, then it's going to be a standalone course. So we got all that. All right, so the links are below for all of that, and I will see you guys in the next one.